We are underway for volleyball on this Sunday afternoon. Palazzolo off the top of the block. Quickly challenged. Trump. There's Swady keeping it in play. Schlichter to the cross. Drunick up to McDowell. Tried to go cross court. Syracuse picks up the first point of the contest.
What a start to this one. Retreated right away to a good rally, both teams. A couple digs on each side. And off the start, it's Syracuse getting that first point. It's just a little bit of mistiming, miscommunication between McDowell and Drunick for Notre Dame.
Swady earlier this year in the non-conference slate was named to the University of Albany All-Tournament team. Service error there to tie this one at 1. Sends back to captain Hattie Monson, who found out earlier this week she would be named team captain along with graduate transfer Nicole Drunick, as the two lead this team both on the court and off. Way up. Menezes goes digging for it. Drunick gets a forearm on it. Irish go scouring for it, but can't get there in time. Syracuse starting quickly.
Really good offense from the Orange here. As we mentioned in our open, McCabe was going to be the focal point for Syracuse, and she gets her first kill of the game there and helps her team take the 2-1 lead.
Brooking serves it into the net. Irish back tied at 2 with the Orange and Lucy Trump. Opposite side hitter today in this contest. Lauren Tarnoff unavailable for the Irish. Moves Fiona Schrader into the middle blocking position. Gets Trump opportunity to be on the opposite side. Menezes can't corral it. Syracuse stays hot.
So we get a look at Lauren Tarnoff for the Irish. We have some positive news on the injury front for Selima Rockwell's team. She was doubtful to play in Friday's game against Boston College, but more of a questionable today. She is sitting out, but trending in the right direction for next weekend.
It'll get it over. Drunick up to Palazzolo. Hard kill, back corner.
We get another look at Palazzolo's first kill of the afternoon. Expect many more from her, the focal point of the Notre Dame offense. Really excellent in all 6 positions on the court as she goes back to serve.
Off serve there. Orange will get it across, and it's an opportunity taken by Antonio. Find the hardwood.
Charlene Antonio, a junior outside hitter with a great kill there, finding the soft spot in that Irish defense right in the middle of the court.
Drunick behind the back to Schrader in front of Burt. She gets it down for the kill.
You mentioned earlier, Schrader in that middle blocker position today. Gets the kill there, her first of the game, as we might get another look at it here. Ties the game for Notre Dame at 4.
Macy Alexander, sophomore defensive specialist, serves it into the net. Both teams going back and forth here early, not really finding a service run for either just yet.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a choppy start for both teams. It's an earlier start time. 12 noon is definitely one of the earlier start times you'll see in ACC play for either of these teams. So certainly a little bit of rust showing early on in this game. Both teams just trying to find their footing, and we'll see which team can achieve that first.
He gets it off the platform. Lang, the freshman, first play back on the court since Friday, gets a kill.
Good start for Ava Lang. Led the team in kills in their last win against Boston College with 17, getting on the board early. We saw Syracuse attack the middle of the court earlier for a kill, and we see Lang do it right there.
On the back, Antonio, just out of the reach of the diving Palazzolo.
Strong start for Antonio. Already her second kill, and that one with a lot more force on it. Just beat the Irish players to the spot. Earned herself and her team a point.
Antonio, one of the 5 transfers on this team. off the deflection. Irish able to get the point.
Notre Dame's offense out to a very efficient start, not wasting any time as we see another kill there. It's McDowell on that one and just out of the reach of the Syracuse back line, and Notre Dame ties the game.
Too much on it from Menezes on the service error. Switching back over to the Irish. Harris Wadey back to the line, started this contest. Harris Wadey, the freshman. Some large playing time for this Orange team. Has 9 newcomers to it. Antonio. Drunick, up to Palazzolo, back corner again. Sydney Palazzolo.
Unbelievable talent. What an offseason pickup Sydney Palazzolo has been. We talk about it every game because we would be remiss not to. Is just beats Mira Mueller to that spot on the court and just gets it down right in front of her, and no chance. And a point for Notre Dame.
Drunick's going to try and save it off the net. He's unable to. A miscue from the Irish. Get the Orange the point. For Susan to go to the service line. Just couldn't corral it. Freshman Melissa Menezes, defensive specialist, making the start today. Drunick up to Palazzolo, got cheeky with it, dumps it in right behind the backs of the attack.
We've seen Palazzolo show off her strength in the first couple points of this match, but they're just showing off her touch and her finesse, and just what a play to recognize where the space was for that kill, just out of the reach of the blocking line for Syracuse, and that's why she's so good. She's so creative and can do it in so many different ways for this Notre Dame team.
Trump down to a knee. Drunick behind the back to Schrader. Loads up off the deflection of Antonio. Notre Dame back tied with the Orange.
Another kill for Notre Dame. Most of their points coming via the offense in this one, as it's Schrader just tipped by McCabe at the front line and does not allow her teammate, forces her teammates to struggle with it behind her, and that's how it ended up on the floor.
Schlechter. The strong kill. Greta Schlichter, the freshman from Leithen, Germany.
As we get another look. A lot of offense early in this one. Both teams hitting very efficiently. Both teams hitting over 50% right now. So really, both of them just hammering that ball on the kill opportunities, not missing.
Dockery up to Palazzolo. That thing is going 80 miles an hour.
At least, Jacob. From here, I couldn't even see it as she struck that ball with such force. No chance for the Orange. It's just a great setup from Drunick, and Palazzolo just continues to attack that strong side and ends up tying the game.
A joust at the net goes Ava Lang's way.
First lead of the game for Notre Dame. Misplay by the Orange, allowing Ava Lang to just hit that ball straight down and earn herself the point.
Dockery gets a forearm on it. Drunick keeps it alive. Unable to get it over the net, though.
Orange continue to hit so efficiently. 6 kills already in just 11 points. 7 kills, excuse me, on just 11 points.
Service error from Boyd goes the Irish's way. Both teams already having 2 service errors against them, only in this contest. It's a service ace for Fiona Schrader. It'll dip it in front of Brooking.
Just the first service ace for Schrader this year, so good timing for that one.
Irish able to pick up the point after the miss hit by Harris Wadey. Notre Dame on a 3-0 scoring run currently. A misplay by Fiona Schrader. Ball go out of bounds on the deflection. It's Orange back to the service line, and this is something that Coach Bake emphasized to us. For his team to have a shot in the ACC, you have to win. You got to serve and pass the ball well in these games.
Certainly, that was a point he made to us when we talked to him earlier this week, was he knows that if his team wants to be competitive in this extremely strong ACC conference, they need to win that service game. They need to be excellent in the passing game as well. And so far today, it's been about equal. So as long as they can keep avoiding those service errors, that will make Coach Bake very happy.
Monson unable to dig it out on the receive of the serve. Just like that, Notre Dame's 3-0 scoring run is now a 3-0 scoring run on the other side for Syracuse.
Already the second service ace for the Orange in this game out of just 14 points, so certainly doing a good job winning that service game so far.
Dockery up to Junick, gets it over through the joust. And it's a strong kill from Antonio. Syracuse on a 4-0 scoring run sends us to our first break. They lead by 1 in set 1. Set 1, Sydney Palazzolo has come in from High Point, a transfer now in her junior year, and she has just continued to be good.
Yeah, what a pickup. I mentioned that earlier. Just a really huge ad for Notre Dame. She was very strong at High Point, but seems to have brought her game to even another level here with the Irish. You see her stats on screen, 4.3 kills percent and a .233 hitting percentage, both phenomenal numbers to start the season for her.
Monson sees the serve to Palazzolo from the back line. Just like that, spoke it into existence.
5th kill already for Palazzolo in this game on only 6 attempts, hitting at a ridiculous .833 percentage so far. Strong start for her, and if you're Syracuse, you don't like to see that. That's not someone you want on the attack every time you're going up against her. It's just not a fun sight.
Antonio. Drunick up to Lang. Finds an opening in the back corner. Irish will pick up a point.
Get another look at Ava Lang's most recent kill. We've seen them use the strong side so much early in this game. There she goes more towards the far side and catches the Orange off guard.
And digs it out. Drunick up to Trump. Tried to get her over the block. Antonio gets it in front of Palazzolo.
What a story. Charlene Antonio has been her 7th kill already of this set, keeping Syracuse in it as it is now 16-16. We highlighted McCabe in the open, but it's been Antonio who's been the Orange's best player to start this one.
Drunick up to Palazzolo, tried to use the top of the net, but it will go Syracuse way on 4 touches. Slammer Rockwell tried to ask for the call there, but smiles all around now.
Certainly from our angle, looked like it was not touched by the Syracuse block, so correct call, and point goes to the Orange.
It's a service ace for the Orange using the top of the net, and Antonio continues to be an electrifying force.
Seemingly out of nowhere, just what a start for the junior outside hitter. Just a couple service aces, a lot of kills, leading both teams in kills with 7. Just what a start for her. Is a huge set for the Orange if they could come out with it. Unfortunately, an error there, but still, what a start it's been for her.
Transferred in from Iowa Western, was a first-team all-region by the NJCAA a year ago, taking her talents to Syracuse, New York. So far in this one's been a fabulous addition. Irish, just like that, back tied now. The ball goes out of bounds on Harris-Wady.
Just a little bit of mistiming there as Wady hit it when it was a little bit too low, so she had to try to hit it upward and caused her to hit it too far upward and out of bounds.
Antonio has to go out of bounds. Irish pick up the point, though. And that will be a timeout from...
Looking to go 2-0 in conference play as well.
Part of it has been getting the player buy-in, and she believes she has that player buy-in and how she wants to coach and how the team is willing to execute for her. Also, part of it is recruiting. Have a phenomenal freshman class here in South Bend, one being Ava Lang, freshman outside hitter, will now serve for the Irish. Schlechter. Drunick up to Palazzolo, off the block. Hits the Irish the point.
Another kill for Sydney Palazzolo. Just powers that through the block. For most players, that might get knocked down at the net, but not for her. She just hits it so hard with so much force that there's no chance for the Orange.
Antonio able to get it on the deflection.
So Syracuse picks up the point there as it was ruled to be deflected at the net. No argument from Rockwell. Hard to tell from our angle, but another kill for Antonio. She's just been unbelievable.
Schwady gets it over, targeting Palazzolo. Trump sneaks it in front of Antonio. A big kill from Lucy Trump in her sophomore year.
Yeah, we saw a couple points ago Trump try that same play, just got too much on it and allowed Syracuse to go in for the diving dig. But there, a little bit of topspin on that kill attempt, got it over the blocking line, landed perfectly right where she wanted. What an excellent play.
Monson gets it over somehow, laying out with her forearm. Antonio, though. Monson sets it up. Drunick up over to Palazzolo. Tries to sneak it in behind the blockers. Antonio gets it over. Schrader blocks it at the middle position, just too far out of the reach of Alyssa Menezes. The back line came creeping.
And it's McCabe, who's heard from for the first time in a long time. What a clever play. Using her team's first hit just to get it right over the net into that soft area where Drunick had crept in too far and allowed that space to open up.
Trump goes right at Burt. Syracuse gets it over. Drunick up to Palazzolo, tried to spin courts, but Schlichter comes across the halfway line. Give Notre Dame the point.
Just when you think Palazzolo's out of tricks, you see a left-handed kill from her. Just unbelievable work and getting that over the net with her left hand and giving Notre Dame the point.
Ambidextrous now. Look at this.
So many tricks up her sleeve as Syracuse at Notre Dame.
And on the other side, Selena Rockwell possesses both of her timeouts still, so she doesn't like what she's seeing. She isn't afraid to maybe hit the timeout rather quickly.
I wouldn't be surprised if Syracuse were to win the next 2 points, per se, to tie the game or maybe make it 23-23. She definitely would not hesitate, as you mentioned, to use one of those timeouts and ensure that her team is feeling good and has a quick chance to huddle and talk about it, try to win that first set.
They don't go over to the next set with you. Might as well use them if you got them. In motion, McCade. Drunick gets a forearm on it. Syracuse answers with a point of their own. Kaylee Dockery will now check in for Lucy Trump.
We talked to Coach Rockwell a couple days ago, and she wanted us to mention Kaylee Dockery as one of the most underrated players on this Irish team. Her serve is really tough. Her passing is great. Her energy on defense is great. Coach Rockwell just loves everything that she provides for this Notre Dame team.
Palazzolo passes it to Drunick behind the back. Schrader gets it down.
So we get a look at Fiona Schrader, who got that most recent kill, one of the most versatile players on this Notre Dame team. In the middle block position today, she served as opposite hitter for a large part of the season. She's just doing it all for Notre Dame this year.
Cade in motion. Monson gets a forearm on it. Drunick goes directly over. Antonio blocked at the net. Antonio has it dug out by Palazzolo. Schrader, a joust at the net, has McCade winning.
What an unbelievable show of volleyball, as we'll get a replay from our net cam, as on that point from Syracuse is just a joust at the net, and it's the Orange who end up winning it, and a huge point for them to stay in touch with this set, to not want to fall behind by three at this point of the set, so a huge chance for them here.
Okay, just overpowering the Irish defense. Drunick to Schrader, blocked by Harris Wading.
And she's fired up. Look at her reaction as there it is. Salima Rockwell does use her timeout in this tie game, as we get another look at the block. Two Orange go up for it, but it is Harris Wading who comes down with it on her own, using that left hand. Just a great block from her. And a point for Syracuse to tie this game up at 23.
Back and forth so far in this first set. Both teams talking it over with their team, and the Irish, it's primarily player-led huddle. Syracuse, Coach Bake doing a lot of the talking on the other side. Get his team ready for this stoppage in play.
Two different styles of huddle there. You mentioned the player-led for Notre Dame. That's one of the things they've adapted this year and put into place. They want those leaders to be leaders in games and moments like this, whereas for Syracuse, Coach Bake, certainly a great voice. We mentioned how successful of a coach he is. Certainly someone you want in your huddle if you're a volleyball player. And so just two different styles, and as we get another look at Coach Bake, just in his second year here at Syracuse, a huge set this would be for his team if they manage to come out with the win.
They got blanked on Friday against Louisville. They could respond here on this Sunday. Huge momentum shift in the ACC. Drunick up to Schrader, off the deflection. Irish able to pick up the point. Now they sit at set point.
Another kill from Schrader. This one looked like it might be going out. Hard to tell from our angle. We'll get another look on our replay. Certainly tough to tell, as it was Brooking who tried to keep that alive, unable to, and that puts Notre Dame in position to win the first set.
Antonio, hard kill by the reaching Alexander. Now we know, at least with both teams tied at 24, we're going to go to at least 26 here in this deuce set.
Nothing unfamiliar for Notre Dame. They've been going to extra time in sets a lot. Set 3 against BC went 26-24, so certainly something they're familiar with, and critical moment of this game.
Service error by the Orange. It's Coleman Drunick to serve. The Irish back into control. Close out this set. Irish able to close out the first set on the double touch on the set. starts this off. Antonio blocked at the net. Burke came in diving. Couldn't get enough on it.
So we get another look at the first real good block from the Irish. It looked like Trump getting her hands on it, winning the point for Notre Dame. We've seen them not get their hands on a couple, but the first time they've really knocked it down and won the point via the block.
Meitzes gets it across. Palazzolo dips it under. Irish will pick up point after they say the Syracuse attack came over the net. Freshman. Service run here. On the back, Trump sits it down in front of Serzant. You see Trump, big kill.
Great setup here from Nicole Drunick behind her back, put it right where it needed to be, and Lucy Trump makes no mistake. She led the team in kills last year and gets on the board there today with that kill.
Leader set to Antonio, blocked at the net. Drunick up to McDowell. Leader Mule cross court to Antonio, jousted at the line. Monson came in trying to just get her ankle on it. Couldn't come in sliding quick enough.
It's a big point for the Orange. Stop the bleeding here. Get themselves back to the service line. Don't want to go down 4-0 after losing a really tough emotional set. The last thing you want to do is come out and have an emotional letdown. So a big point for them there to try to get back into this one early.
Drunick up to Palazzolo. Snuck it over the block. You talked about the versatility she has in the type of shots. One right there just taking a little speed off of them.
Yeah, and when you can establish that you can hit the ball as hard as you can and just overpower the defensive line, it's hard to then stop that for one, but then you've got to stop all these other types of shots too. It's just incredibly difficult. And so just the flexibility that Palazzolo has, the amount of options she has, it's just impossible to defend them all. And that's why she's such a special player for this Notre Dame team.
Say Schrader came in contact with the net. Leader Mule serves, goes out of bounds. Irish now leading by 3 in the second set. Trump across the net. Antonio. Drunick gets it over the setter.
Here's another look, and we've seen that play a couple times from Drunick this season. First time we've seen it today. She likes to fake that set and get over for a kill herself.
Cole Drunick and the Irish leading by 4 to start this second set. I got an update there. Virginia on top of Miami, 1-0.
Certainly a busy day of ACC volleyball today. We got a bunch of games that also have that 1 o'clock start time that haven't quite began yet, but a lot of exciting matchups across volleyball today. And as you mentioned, a big game for Notre Dame coming Wednesday. That will be on ACC Network as they play host to Louisville.
Should be a fun one. Tune in if you have an opportunity. That's going to be 2 strong volleyball teams, and especially with this red-hot Notre Dame team that's finding a way to get it done every which way. Strong kill by Serzant on the far side.
Third kill for Veronica Serzant, the freshman, one of 5 freshmen brought in for this Syracuse Orange team. Cuts the deficit to 4.
Only had 4 returners from last year. It's a young team, and Coach Bake was very open with us. This is not the norm in college athletics. he understood that the team was plagued by injury even in the preseason before non-conference started, and he's been plugging holes and just using as many newcomers as he is. He was very open with just, we're trying to find ourselves right now with the lineup we have available.
Yeah, that was one of the things he mentioned to us in the call we had with him, is these 9 newcomers, 5 freshmen, 4 transfers. You mentioned only 4 returners, so a really high percentage of the team is brand new this year, so it's a lot of moving parts for them. He definitely knows that this year is a year of growth, a year of maturity, not a year of likely contention, although you never know. They are a strong team. This is a strong conference, but certainly with the injuries they've had and all the newcomers they have, it's definitely more of a focus on learning and developing as players than it is on team success.
Syracuse can't get it over the net to return the volley. But for them, let's spin it on the head. Let's put a positive to it. You're looking at freshmen that in many of these larger schools in these big-time volleyball conferences don't see the floor, but for right now, this team is getting high-level experience as freshmen.
Yeah, that experience, invaluable, especially for young players like freshmen, even these transfer students who come in from lower caliber conferences and other teams that don't have the kind of pressure that the ACC provides. Just that experience to play in games like this is invaluable for the development of these young players.
One of those being Rita Schlichter right there on the kill for the Orange. Lena Brooking now to serve. Lang off the block. Dow gets it across. Schlichter there to recover. McDowell sets it down, though, over the net.
Second kill for Charity McDowell. Certainly tried that play twice in that set, just trying to get it over, surprise the Orange, catch them off guard, and it works the second time, hitting it basically straight down, and almost impossible to defend a play like that.
Irish able to pick up the service ace after it came in on the back line, but quickly Coach Bake to the challenge card. He wants to have this ACC officiating crew of Josh Hall and Brian Hemmelgarn to go look at it at the monitor.
Hopefully we'll get another look at it, but from our angle live, it looked like that may have landed inbounds. It was tough to tell. Immediately, the Syracuse players were screaming out to inform their back line not to touch that ball, but it looked like it may have bounced inbounds. We'll obviously have to see what the result of this challenge is. As you mentioned, Jacob, no hesitation from Coach Bake to use that green card. Here we get another look at Drew Nick's serve way up in the air. Tough to tell from that angle, but you can see the instant reaction of the Orange was to say it was out, whereas the instant reaction of the referees was to say it was in. So an interesting situation that the challenge will have to decide.
Once again, something I say time and time again on these broadcasts, got to be conclusive. There's got to be enough evidence in the video to have this refereeing pair turn over the call.
Certainly, it looked like out of the hand off that serve early on. It looked like it was going out, but it seemed to almost die in midair and sort of just fall to the ground as we get an overhead shot of where that ball may have landed. Might be out on that angle. Great angle from our replay crew, showing us that that ball may indeed be out of bounds. Again, though, you mentioned it has to be conclusive. Tough to tell. Maybe it hits the back line there. Certainly looks like it's out. But again, got to be conclusive, as you said, Jacob.
Got to be conclusive, and if it touches the white, it is considered in. And that's sometimes a tough part of having a camera angle that's shooting right down on it, is you can't see where it comes in contact first, whether it was the white or the green. That one looking a little more green.
This is perhaps why I'm not a volleyball referee myself, as my initial reaction was that was in, but after that replay, definitely looks like we may come to a different result. Again, though, Not sure, still at the monitor, is this reffing crew. Is a very long review coming. They want to get it right. They want to be precise.
Brian Hemmelgarn finally off the monitor. Go to the official scores. They will say it went out of bounds and the call will be reversed to give Syracuse the point, and now them to go on the attack.
Schlichter back to serve. Greta Schlichter, one of the 5 freshmen Syracuse has on this roster, getting that experience in this big game. We saw her get a kill a couple minutes ago. Now back to serve. We know that Coach Bake wants to see Syracuse win the service game, so this is a big spot for her to try to get a good serve over and set the tone for this point.
Brian Hemmelgarn still over with the official scorekeepers, not everything up on, have to imagine, the clinical side.
Here he is. And we get the go-ahead, and here we go.
Schlichter serves it into the net. Alyssa Manitsis comes in to serve for the Irish. Manitsis floats it over the net. Hermuller tries to have Gade look for the outside line. Couldn't get there. Manitsis, who's been such a strong server today, opened up this second set on a service run. Liedermuller up to Antonio. Monse gets it over. Set down by McCabe.
It's a kill there for Lauren McCabe, but really the play was made by Antonio. Is that strong kill attempt was just barely dug out by Notre Dame and allowed for that easy putback, for lack of a better word, from the Orange. And McCabe, she's certainly one of the strongest players on this team. A little bit of a slow start to this game. If she can get going, that's something Notre Dame will have to be careful of and would not be a good sign for them.
Drunick up to McDowell, kept alive by Brooking. Irish able to pick up the point. Syracuse looked to Coach Bake, had a conference between themselves. Thought about maybe looking for the challenge. He was successful in his one, still has 2 to his name. Misplay from Elena Brooking. Get the Irish up by 7. Antonio finds the back corner for a kill. Syracuse responds.
Antonio with her 12th kill already of this game. It's only been, her team has only won 32 points, so really a huge part, a huge percentage of her team's success right now is her. And with 12 kills, that's only 6 away from her career high of 18, which she achieved earlier this season. So, chance for her to break that, as she's looked really strong on this Sunday afternoon.
Double touch against Syracuse gets Notre Dame the points. Lucy Trump now to serve for Notre Dame. Drunick up to Schrader, tries to go cross court. Walked out the net, Syracuse able to win the point. Off of the Irish coming in contact with the net.
A couple consecutive points for the Orange, starting to build a little momentum here. Need to get back in this set as soon as possible. Don't want to fall down 2-0, especially to a tough team like Notre Dame at Purcell Pavilion.
Service error, high IQ play from Hattie Monson to go sliding out of the way to let that one go out.
Such a high IQ player she is. One of the best on this Notre Dame team in that role as libero. Knows to let that to not go out by that much, but she confidently let it go. Just an unbelievable play from her. What court recognition that was.
Liebermuller set down by the block by Nicole Drunick.
We've seen Notre Dame really make improvements in their blocking in this second set as compared to the first set. We see the best example of it there is Drunick with the solo block, winning the point as Notre Dame jumps out to an 8-point lead.
They lead by 8. That's for the Irish in dominating fashion right now. Leading into the second set for Syracuse. They got to try and just find some way to plug the hole and allow themselves to get back in this set.
Yeah, it's definitely been a tough set for them. Notre Dame's offense firing on all cylinders and coming from a bunch of different sources. We've seen Drunick really get involved on the offense in this second set. We've obviously seen Palazzolo, what she can do. We've seen Fiona Schrader. We've seen Ava Lang. We've seen all these weapons that Notre Dame has. And for Syracuse, they have weapons of their own. Obviously, Antonio's been the storyline of this game. Lauren McCabe still second on the team in kills with 5 herself, and Sears in with 4 too, so their offense has been there, but unfortunately for them, they're just allowing Notre Dame to hit too efficiently. Notre Dame hitting at a 5-1-3 clip, which is just way above average, and Syracuse's defense has to find a way to make an adjustment, as that's what this game is going to come down to. Can they find a way to make that adjustment on defense, limit Notre Dame's offensive prowess, and if they do, that is how they're going to get back into this game. It has to be that way.
Notre Dame's hitting percentage coming in today, .215.
So more than double in this game.
They are finding a way to capitalize on the attack.
And for Syracuse, they're hitting .291, which is a fantastic number themselves, well above their average, but it's just Notre Dame's offense so efficient in this game, and Syracuse just has no answers.
Syracuse comes in hitting at a .094 percentage as a team. So once again, both teams taking advantage of those kills, but it's been the service errors that's almost been shooting themselves in the foot for Syracuse, why they haven't been able to gain this momentum.
Certainly, it boils down to, as we see another error there, is a second straight service ace for Notre Dame, and Palazzolo is just doing it all in this game as per usual. But we've mentioned that Coach Bake wants his team to win the service game. That just isn't happening in this game and in this set specifically, and is a big reason why they trail 10. That and the inability to get those blocks and get those digs that has really hurt them in the second set.
Palazzolo gets it across, Schlichter up to Liedermuller. Dockery's able to dig it out. Palazzolo from the back line gets it down. From all 6 positions, Sydney Palazzolo can find offense.
She gets kills from anywhere on the court. She is not that close to the net for that one. Just comes in with a little bit of momentum and uses that powerful right arm. And we've seen her with a couple service aces during this serving run and this 5-0 run for Notre Dame. And you saw her again there with a kill.
Top of the net as quickly Jobert came in sliding. Couldn't get there in time. Sydney Palazzolo on a 6-0 scoring run. They went on a 7-0 scoring run on Friday against Boston College. Liedermuller behind the back. Waiting to Lang now. And a miscue from Jobert, who set up behind it. Now Irish. They are in full control
You mentioned that 7-0 run against Boston College. 7-0 run right now for Notre Dame. It's been one of the strengths for their team is when they are feeling it, they are really feeling it, and they take full advantage. The other teams seemingly struggle to deal with the momentum that Notre Dame has as they make it an 8-0 run.
Fiona Schrader with the kill. Irish on an 8-0 scoring run. They're 2 away from closing out this set. Palazzolo. Irish pick up the point. Good times keep rolling.
You mentioned, Jacob, in that first set, Syracuse, it almost felt like needed to win that, and you're seeing why now as Notre Dame has really put their foot on the gas, and there it is.
It's a service ace from Sydney Palazzolo to end the second set on a 10-0 scoring run. Irish.
That is not a typo. She's hitting 769. Just an unbelievable game from her.
Drunick behind the back to McDowell. Kept over, got it over by Manitsis. What a play. Defense turns to offense.
So we'll get another look at that rally from our net cam. Just a back and forth battle at the net. And it's McDowell who wins it on the block and picks up the first point of the set for the Irish.
Monson gets it over. Littermuir had to go chase it. Burt will get it across on the pass to allow Irish to set up. Fiona Schrader with the hard kill.
And one of the more underrated players of today's game has been Fiona Schrader in that middle blocking position, using that left hand. The only lefty on this Notre Dame team gets the clean kill there, and the Irish are starting set 3 very strong.
Tonio with a kill of her own to stifle the Irish attack.
13th for her. She approaches that 18 number she set in a previous game this season against Cornell. She's really, can't say it enough how much of a storyline she's been for the Syracuse team today.
Manitsis to Palazzolo off the top. Syracuse able to pick up the point after Palazzolo sends it into the net.
Only the second error for Palazzolo as compared to 11 kills. So a hitting percentage drops to a .643. That stinks.
Service error goes for the Irish. Been deadly. They've had big service opportunities. They get going on the service line. They're a tough team to beat, this Irish team is.
Yeah, we were mentioning it a little bit as the second set closed out, how good Notre Dame is when they're on a scoring run. Especially at home with all the momentum on their side, with all the fans on their side. They're really tough to beat when they're going good and it starts to get a 3-0 run, 4-0 run, 5-0 run as we get another look at that block from Notre Dame, from Drunick that just goes out of bounds. And so Syracuse picks up the point to tie the set.
Littermuir now back, the freshman setter. Played on the U16 German national team from Endorf, Germany. Service error goes Irish's way. Don't look now, but Sydney Palazzolo is back to the service line.
Does it count if she wins another point? Do we get to say that that's 11-0 for her on the service line?
I think it should. Syracuse pick up the point off of the double touch.
So the streak ends at 10 no matter what, Jacob.
Even between sets, Charlie. Charlene Antonio gets it across. Drunick goes over the net herself. Flechter. Dockery's there to provide defense. Lang using the top of the net to her advantage. Unsuccessful, though, as Syracuse able to pick up the point.
Seen a couple miscues around the net for Notre Dame to start this set. Another one there as Syracuse picks up the point to take the lead, just a little bit off for Notre Dame so far, and for Syracuse, certainly they're going to take advantage of that.
Drunick jounced at the net. Antonio goes directly over with a direct set. Drunick behind the back to Schrader. Irish pick up the point after Syracuse crossed the midway line.
So now we've seen both teams making a couple mistakes in and around the net as Notre Dame picks up that point to tie the game, and it's Maisie Alexander back to serve.
Drunick. Palazzolo. Go out of bounds. Now, Earth waiting to serve for the Orange. Has a service error. Now the Irish back tied at 6.
It's the 11th service error of this game for the Orange as compared to Notre Dame's 3. So certainly they are not currently winning the service battle.
Syracuse able to pick up the point as Lane couldn't get over the net on the block. Elena Brooking from Lowell, Maryland comes in. Biochem major.
That sounds hard.
Adding that on top of your athletic endeavors, it's got to be challenging as McDowell tried to turn the corner, pushed it too far out of bounds to get Syracuse up by 2. Brooking over the net. Drunick. Palazzolo finds a way, slowly getting across the net, but turns to offense.
So you see Palazzolo, another example of using that light touch, just catching the Syracuse blocker, falling from her jump and causing her to just try to do anything she could even to get a hand on it, and it results in a point for Notre Dame.
Service error from Manitsis. Goes for Syracuse to send Schlichter back to serve. Monson up to Drunick. McDowell has it set down.
Strong kill from Charity McDowell, who now heads to the bench, and her substitute rotation as she just overpowered Melina Brooking, who couldn't come up with that one. Just such a strong hit from McDowell.
Cade in motion, has it rejected at the net.
And that's Fiona Schrader on the block. No one gets more excited for her when her team wins a point, and you can imagine how excited she gets when she gets a big block like that. Just unbelievable energy she brings to the court each and every game.
Coach Rockwell calls her a bundle of energy.
That would be an accurate description, as that one goes off my monitor.
Drunick came in sliding for, just couldn't get forearm back into play.
Little miscommunication between Notre Dame there. Two girls looked at each other as the ball is falling down, neither going for it, and that allowed Syracuse to pick up that point, and they take the lead. They've been in control of this third set for the most part.
Palazzolo has it go off her platform. Funny. And now a timeout from Coach Rock. For the Syracuse Orange, Coach Bake has been very vocal. For his team to win, they need to have chemistry, and part of that chemistry they're building is a book club. They meet every other week, and the book they're currently reading is the Inner Game of Tennis. While it is about not their sport specifically, it's about the ultimate guide there for mental attacking and how to stay within the game on the mental side of it.
Yeah, the game is only 50% physical, right? It's so much about how you are mentally in different situations and different moments of each game. And Coach Bake, you mentioned he wants to build that team chemistry with his players and make sure that they're mentally grounded. We've mentioned a couple times, it's a bunch of newcomers, a lot of inexperience for the Syracuse team. So books like that can help you on the mental side of the game can go a long way to improving the physical side of the game as well.
Notre Dame able to pick up the point on the service error. And part of the book club, they meet every other week, but Sid, while we go in there thinking we're going to go talk about the book, most of the time we start going off in different directions, and we welcome those conversations as well because we're growing as a team.
That was one of the big points he made, was about how he wants to really build the team camaraderie as much as he does the mental book, right? He wants, as you mentioned, that team to have those conversations, to be open with each other, to be close with each other, to have that trust in the relationships between player and coach, and he uses his book club as a means of propelling that forward and making it happen.
Part of the chemistry as well, they have meals at his house. He cooks for them. Drunick up to Schrader. Hard to kill. Fiona Schrader. Middle blocker, but showing shades of her opposite side position.
Such a versatile player. You mentioned middle blocker today, but normally the opposite side hitter, and you could see why with such force in that left hand, just impossible to defend. As we saw Syracuse try, but the ball ricocheted 10 rows up into Brazil Pavilion. So good kill for her and the Irish.
Cade put too much on it, that finds it out of bounds. Just like that, Notre Dame only 1 point away from tying it back up with Syracuse. Palazzolo across the net. Tonio has it blocked, but off the deflection. Goes out of bounds. The Orange get back on the attack.
Syracuse really showing that mental toughness in this third set. Easy after getting smoked 25-9 in the second set to just roll over and give this game away with their backs against the wall, but they've really come out and dominated almost. Not dominated, but they've certainly been the better of the two teams in this third set. And it's allowed them to have this lead, and for them, it's just something that Coach Bake has to be happy with. Like, no matter what happens, they're playing strong, they're getting that experience, they're playing as hard as they can, they're playing with their hearts, and that's something that he has to love, right? Seeing that right now in this close game in this third set.
Zander gets it across. Victor in motion. Drunick up to the freshman lane. Has it blocked by Harris Wadey.
Incredibly strong block from that Syracuse front line. It was Harris Wadey who got her hand on it. Veronica Searson also up there, immediately goes right to Harris Wadey after that block and says, nice job, nice work. That's the kind of camaraderie Coach Bake wants his team to have.
Drunick wins it at the net. Cole Drunick, graduate transfer in her 5th year of collegiate volleyball, started her career at Nebraska, played at Georgia Tech, comes here for her final year of eligibility to Notre Dame, named captain, and is taken to being a part of the South Bend campus quickly.
Yeah, it's not easy to come to Notre Dame and then instantly become captain in her first season with the team, but it speaks volumes to who she is as a person, who she is as a leader, the experience that she brings to this Notre Dame team, and beyond all that, she's also an incredible setter, and that's really helped Notre Dame. She's helped Notre Dame in so many ways this season. What a pickup.
Blocked by Notre Dame. Syracuse will have another opportunity with Schlichter. Victor has it go out of bounds for the Irish to pick up a point.
You can see the momentum shifting. It was a strong run for Notre Dame as they take the 16-15 lead and force Syracuse to use one of their timeouts. It's a 7-4 run, which isn't all that much. But
they'll play Louisville, number 5th ranked team in the country on Wednesday. Then they go to NC State and have Duke, North Carolina as they start a 3-game road trip going to Raleigh.
Yeah, we mentioned how strong they've been at home, and this home-heavy schedule early on has really benefited them. So that's going to really be a big test going on the road for 3 straight games after Wednesday's match against Louisville. It's going to be tough for them. They've been so strong at home, but finding that success on the road is not quite as easy.
Mueller gets it across the net. Drunick up to Lang for the kill. Irish leading by 2. And something that Coach Bake was open with us about was that travel. That it's tough when you look at you're playing in 2 different locations in a matter of 24 hours. Friday, Syracuse was playing in Louisville. Now Sunday, they're here in South Bend playing. The travel in the ACC is tough.
Yeah, the ACC is not a conference for those who are unwilling to take that challenge head on. He mentioned that the schedule is tough playing Friday and Sunday with that travel day Saturday, but he knows that there's no better options. And so it's just a matter of which team can power through the most, which team can figure it out and not let that tough schedule affect them in any negative way.
Irish able to get the point. Keep Nicole Drunick hot at the service line. It'll be a timeout from Coach Bake. Talk it over with his team.
Interesting here. I was just going to mention that the coaches are having their own meeting for Syracuse as they opt for a player-led meeting themselves, which is a tactic we've seen a lot from Notre Dame, but interesting to see Syracuse do that as well. Syracuse,
tough upcoming schedule as well in the coming weeks. When you look at this ACC, there's no game. Everyone can beat everyone on every given day. They got a tough one coming up.
Yeah, a couple more road games on this trip for them at Virginia and Pitt next weekend, and then it's a home stretch for them, starting with Virginia Tech, who's in action against Miami right now. For them, they've got to start somewhere. It was a tough preseason for them, but it's still very early on in ACC play. If they can come out with a couple wins on the road and maybe beat one of Virginia or Pitt, or maybe even both, and then you start a home stretch, you never know, right? As you mentioned, anyone can beat anyone in this conference. That's something that Salima Rockwell said. That's something that Coach Bake said. It's something that kind of everybody knows. And so when it comes to ACC play, there's no free matchup.
There is none. And every coach you talk to in the conference understands how good this conference is. You can't just take a team for their record. You got to look at the film and dive into them and understand what makes them tick. For Notre Dame, what makes them tick has been the service line. When they've been going on runs, they have been red hot. Now Irish sitting at a 6-0 scoring run with Nicole Drunick in the driver's seat. Antonio from the back line. Drunick behind the back, set to Trump. Burt's able to dig it out. Schlichter gets it across. Drunick up to McDowell, the middle blocker. She gets the kill.
We see that depth that I just mentioned for Notre Dame is McDowell with a very strong game this afternoon. That's her 5th kill of the day from right in the center of the court, finding that soft area and putting Notre Dame up by 5. As you mentioned, they are in the driver's seat.
Burt receives the serves. Schlichter has Lane go out and grab it. Drunick gets it across. Schlichter again. Drunick up to Lang. Schlichter went diving for it, just out of her reach. Now Notre Dame 4 away from closing it out. Now an 8-0 scoring run.
Just back-to-back sets where they've had these unbelievable runs. And when they get momentum, it's tough to stop. They got a good server back there, Nicole Drunick, and she's just making it very tough for Syracuse to find an answer.
Little Miller behind the back as Serzant had it blocked. Notre Dame now 9-0 scoring run for Nicole Zrunik.
Let's get another look at that most recent block. It was Lang who looked like she got her hands on it, resulting in that point.
Zrunik. Zrunik up to Lang. Has it rejected by the net. That'll end the service run at 9. Brooking. Now to serve. She serves it into the net, and now Irish will go back to the line, 2 points away from closing out the match.
Chance to do it right here with Ava Lang back to serve. Just 2 points away, as you mentioned.
Orange able to get the kill off of the back of Antonio, who now ties her career high with 18 kills. Today hitting at a 400 clip.
Yeah, so much can be said about her performance today. That previous career high of 18 occurred in a 4-set game against Cornell, so she's done it in less than 3 sets here at Notre Dame. Just an unbelievable day from her. As now Notre Dame moves within 1 point, not to be outdone. But before that happens, I would like to just mention what a day for Charlene Antonio it has been. 18 kills is an unbelievable mark. It's more than the rest of her team combined, right? And so that just kind of shows what she's been for this Syracuse team today.
Monson serves it over the net. Antonio with the kill, now a new career high for her with 19. Burt flirts it over the net. Zrunik up to Trump. Antonio. That's Lang diving for it. Palazzolo through the block. And Irish take care of business, winning in 3 straight sets.